Today we're going to take the back roads in Missouri to a couple small towns that have a lot of history surrounding the Lewis and Clark expedition and John Colter. We're going to go there and see what we can learn. Take a look at these cardinal vines. Hummingbirds and bees love that stuff. Let's get going. So we're heading west on Highway 100 between Washington, Missouri and New Haven. Washington, Missouri is behind us. You might have seen that sign back there, Lewis and Clark Trail. Our first stop down here is going to be, it's called Colter's Landing, after John Colter. John Colter was part of the Lewis and Clark expedition. And there's many stories about his exploits with the Lewis and Clark expedition, and also after he left the expedition and came back down the river. Missed it. So this is the area known as Colter's Landing. It's about 16 miles west of Washington. We'll go down here to this placard. So it says John Colter's veracity was never questioned among us, and his character was that of a true American backwoodsman. He was about 35 years of age, 5 feet 10 inches in height, and wore an open, ingenious, and pleasing countenance of the Daniel Boone stamp. Nature had formed him, like Boone, for hardy endurance of fatigue and privations and perils. Thomas James. I'll take a picture of this if you want to read all of it. But this shows a map here where we're at currently on this tributary of the old Missouri River, it's called. William Clark's entry, May 26, Saturday, 1804, set out at 7 o'clock after a heavy shower of rain. George Dreyer and John Shields sent by land with 2 horses with directions to proceed on one day and hunt the next. Great deal of deer sign on the bank. 1 man out hunting. William Clark. So we're going to walk down this ramp to this creek. at Colter's Landing. This is Boeuf Creek. I think it's spelled Boeuf. Could be wrong, but this ramp is still used, for boat launch. People fish down here. Creek looks a little bit low. It is flowing though. There's some ripples going there, and this feeds into the Missouri River. This would have been a creek that people like John Colter, fur trappers, and even before him, the French in the 1700s would trap beaver and muskrat, mink, and I don't know what all. Ooh, look at that boat. I would have hated to be in that thing when that happened. Pretty rough. Catastrophic failure. Anyway, there's down the creek. That goes toward the Missouri. And then this back up this way. It flows to the Missouri, so there's a Highway 100 bridge. So, all right, we're gonna head back up. So we're gonna leave Colter's Landing and head to our next stop, which is gonna be New Haven, Missouri. So we're in New Haven. We're going to turn down here and go toward the riverfront. It's a nice little town. With rough roads. The big Catholic church is pretty Assumption. So the town is really high above the Missouri River here. It's a big bluff, I think, off to the left. Where the town's situated above the river, except for this downtown area. Used to get flooded quite a bit. Corps of Engineers built a levee here. I don't remember what year, but you can see we go down pretty steep to get into the old part of town. Looks like a feed store. Across the railroad tracks. Looks like they just redid the streets down here. It's pretty nice. Pickney Bend Distillery's off to the left there. Got a tasting room. There's a John Colter Memorial. I think we'll park up here. Take a look at that. So this is a plaque here on the levee next to the Missouri River. New Haven. Early prominent Missouri River port, New Haven was settled about 1805 and was first named Miller's Landing. For pioneer Philip Miller, the Pacific Railroad Mopac reached here in 1855 and the town was laid out and renamed the next year. John Colter, member of the Lewis and Clark Expedition, explorer of Yellowstone Park, settled a few miles east in 1810. The New Haven flood control levee here was completed by the U.S. Corps of Engineers in April 1955. So we'll walk over here. Look at this Colter Memorial. So I think where we was just at is somewhere pretty close to work, because that would be east, a couple miles east of here. Must be pretty close to where Colter settled. I ain't gonna read all that, but I'll take a picture of it. Walk up here. So John Colter, I read, was called the first mountain man. So it looks like that boulder came from Montana. There's a little article about it. Story of the rock. Heck, I forgot to take pictures of this. I'm not sure if I got that. So let's walk down here to the riverfront. We got a real nice walking path down here. I think it's, I don't know, maybe about a quarter of a mile. And there's the Missouri. Flowing swift. There's a picture of the trail. Let's see what this placard says. Private John Colter was among the first members to be recruited by Captain Meriwether Lewis for the Lewis and Clark expedition. Colter was a skillful hunter, scout, and translator, and he quickly became a valuable member of the party. After almost 3 years of traveling with the Corps of Discovery, Private Colter was given permission to leave the expedition on August 18, 1806, near the Mandan village, present-day North Dakota. He was the only member of the expedition allowed to leave early from his enlistment. Colter wished to return to the wilderness and the mountains. He is credited with being the first white man to explore the region, which later would become Yellowstone National Park. In 1810, Colter resettled to Missouri to settle near the mouth of Bow Creek, located about 3 miles east of here. That's where we just came from. We'll walk down here. There's another placard. I think that Missouri River is a really pretty picture. Doing some construction down here next to the parking lot. A person come down here and have a picnic. I'm gonna pause this a second. These guys are talking. So we'll walk on down here. There's some real pretty houses here. It's an old house that was totally restored. I'm sure that levee has kept it from being washed away. Another plaque here. For nearly a century, ferry boats docked along the riverbank below, beginning in 1831 at a site 1 mile west of here called Griswold City. A ferry boat poled across the river daily. By late 1800s, ferry boats were making hourly trips from New Haven to Warren County. Residents north of the river, living in the communities of Pinckney, Pierce, Holstein, Treelore, and Smith Creek, used the ferry for travel to New Haven to shop and socialize. High school students used the ferry to attend school in New Haven. Built with paddle wheels, the early boats were powered by steam engines fueled with wood. The most unusual ferry boat, the Tilda Clara, circa 1900, was powered by a team of horses, which walked a treadmill and turned the paddle wheel. Later, boats used gasoline engines and carried automobiles and their passengers. Olive Street, then called Ferry Street, led from the ferry boat landing to Front Street and the railroad station. Many New Haven businesses, including Grandman's General Store, located along this street, benefited from the ferry boat traffic. With completion of the Missouri River Bridge at Washington in 1936, ferry boat service was discontinued. Today, there is little contact between residents living on opposite sides of the river. So that across there is Warren County, and not too far over there, I think, which would it be? Maybe west of here slightly would be Marthasville. And over this way, I think the La Charette village that was occupied when Lewis and Clark came through here. In fact, I think it was the first white settlement up the Missouri River. That was near Marthasville, but it was a couple miles, I believe, south of the current city of Marthasville. But yeah, they had a ferry that would go across here at this spot. And Miller, as we learned earlier, established this area, selling firewood to the steamboats. So I think that pretty much takes care of this video. I think we'll end it with this shot right here. I think we'll go around the block here in downtown New Haven, Old Town, so you can see the storefront. Called the Historic District. I don't know if I want to climb them stairs up to the street up there. But they have an old Bijou movie theater here. It's still open. Mexican restaurant there. There's the theater. So we're going to go back across the tracks and up the hill. A little house for sale. Needs some work. So those steps that mentioned previously actually come up to one of these houses. I can't remember which one. Let's see. Might be this one. We'll take a quick look at this overlook, see if we can see those stairs. But from what I've read, that when the ferry boat would land, steamboat or ferry boat, either one would land down there, passengers that wanted to spend the night would have to climb those stairs. And up here to the right, we'll pass the old hotel. But let's go down here and look at Thurman Park Scenic Overlook. Yeah, so this is Thurman Park Scenic Overlook, and I believe this is where those steps come up that travelers would take. What is this? Thurman Park History Site of Early Christian Church and Public School, named in honor of pioneer family whose members organized the first congregation in 1856, dedicated in 1956, 100 years later. Must be the bell, the old bell from the church. Let's walk down here and look at these steps. There's a cool house there. Steps closed during icy conditions. You don't have to tell me twice. But yeah, look at them old steps. Even the handrail's ancient. So this goes down to a landing and then goes down to more steps there. It's really pretty. Okay. So we just looked at Thurman Park Scenic Overlook. We can drive through town some more. This is the old hotel that the weary travelers would come up to. I'm going to stop and take a picture of it. We'll end this video here at the Central Hotel. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.